Are we live yet?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wonderful.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of CampusCare EdTalks. EdTalks is a platform where educators and leaders come on board and express their viewpoints related to education and society. A topic for the day is how can the communication between teachers and parents improve, and to express her viewpoints on the same, we have with us Miss Neeti Bhalla ma'am, Executive Principal of GEMS Modern Academy, Gurugram. A very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Mehak.
How are you doing, ma'am?
Doing wonderful today. And yeah,
It's lovely to have you on board with us, ma'am.
thank you so much. Pleasure is all mine. I'm happy to be here with you and sharing some viewpoints.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So let's start off with the session, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
So, ma'am, the communication between teachers and parents. So, why, in your opinion, is there a need for a better communication between both the educators and the parents?
First of all, it's a very dear topic, very close to my heart when we talk about the need for parents and teachers and school to be on the same platform and the need for a better communication between them. Because I very, very strongly feel that all these three parts, so the parents, the teachers, and the school. So when I say school, it's the school environment. They're all equal stakeholders in development of the child and the betterment of the child. So if all these three pillars who kind of where the child is in the center, if all these three pillars speak the same language, kind of direct the terms what need to be done and how things have to be developed, they all are speaking the same language for the child. It's easier for the development of the child as the child grows and as the child gets an understanding of what and how things happen. When we look at parents and we look at the school and the teachers, everybody has their own experiences, but parents come from such diverse backgrounds, and we're teachers, we know best what we do in our work as in teaching. But when parents come from diverse backgrounds, it's important that we bring in their perspective into how they see the world, because at the end of the day, whatever the child is learning in school is going back home and kind of expressing it in the house or using it in their real life experiences, which are related to when parents take them out or at home. So whatever the child learns while in school takes it back home as a real life experience. It's the key is that if all these three stakeholders, the parents, the school, and the teachers, are on the same page and are talking the same language, the learning becomes much more effective and more lifelong, is what I would say.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, how will it exactly, help the students?
When we talk about the child and how does it help the child, there are many facets to it. A lot of children are very different from what they are in public as opposed to what they are at home. Some children are very quiet at home, but they show a different side of their personality in school. And some children who are quiet in school are very different at home. So, how it helps the child is it nurtures the child's the abilities that the child possesses. There's so many times that the child has a lot of aspects and a lot of abilities, but they're not very clearly visible while the child is in school, because maybe the child is shy or doesn't want to speak up or kind of hesitates in saying things. So when there is a close connect between the teacher and the parent can always highlight what are the things that the child does well. And likewise, similarly for the teacher, when the teacher is talking to the parent consistently, they can always highlight what the child does best. And overall, when you look at the child as a whole, it helps the child in better personality development, a social emotional connect. It builds that and makes it stronger. It makes the child more confident. And when parents come and talk to me, I always tell them that what you give me in a child, whatever values you put in your child, I can only build on those and I can only enhance those values. So if our values are similar, when we are communicating consistently with parents, then our value systems start becoming similar. And so it doesn't contradict with the learning of the child. So it is overall benefiting the child from all aspects, not just academically, but in overall development as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Very beautifully explained. So, in this case, ma'am, how can educators ensure? How can they ensure that there's a good communication from their end to the parents?
I can share examples that my school does and what we do with our parents. We
Me
have
too,
something
ma'am.
called
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got something called a weekly walkthrough, wherein the teachers put together what they've done in the entire week, how they've done it, and links of the websites and links what they've used. And they put that together with some pictures of what the children were doing while they were learning those things. And that is mailed to the parents by each section every week. So, and that's especially in the primary section, because those are formative years and parents are always very curious to know
Yeah.
what their children are doing. And especially in absence of a very formal sit down examination, it is important that our parents know how children are learning and progressing, and they're progressing, and there's a continuous evaluation happening, and they are being informed. This weekly walkthrough really helps us in communicating with our parents and letting our parents know how and what's happening. And there are different platforms and different ERPs where the teachers keep posting the progress of the child, so parents can view that. We've got PTC, the parent teacher connection that happens, and these are four of formal ones. And then parents can also connect with the teachers through emails, or teachers also, my teachers have also provided a window in the evening for an hour for the parent to call and speak with her if they have any concerns with, or they want to share something
Yes.
aloud. And another aspect that we've started with was that in the beginning of the session, the parents take them through the entire curriculum for the for the first term, to show parents that this is what your child will be doing, and also introduce the new teachers to them. So that's another medium. And something that we've recently launched and it has become very popular is coffee morning with the principal. So I have been meeting each section, and just inviting one section and talking to the parents and hearing them out and explaining to them what we are doing. So, I tell them, and I start by saying that this is not a complaint session. This is a session where I want to share what we are doing and how we are progressing and what concerns us. I'm very honest in sharing my concerns, that children should come on time to school and things like that.
Yes.
So there is a clear communication. And then I leave the floor open for parents to share what they think the school is doing really well and what are the areas of concern. So that is another area which kind of is giving us like a 360-degree interaction with the parents and getting to know, and everything that we're doing is for the student. Whatever reasons we're sitting there is for making things better for the student. So these are some of the ways that we've tried and they really work well for us. Care calls. My teachers have been making care calls. If a child has been absent for 3 days, they call the parent and say, so and so has not been coming to school. Or even in a fortnight, if they know somebody's sick in the family, the teachers call and ask. This is just a bonding and a more better connect with the parents and for the sake of the students.
I think, ma'am, that's a very great initiative. Both of the things, and the care calls too.
Thank you.
Coffee with the principal, and parents teacher connection, everything. So, ma'am, moving forward, when educators and you two are sitting with students and teachers and discussing everything, and you guys are making care calls, to have a better communication from your end. So what educators expect from the parents in that case?
So when I'm having these coffee meetings, and that's a very beautiful question you've asked, and I was hoping that you would ask that, is that whenever we work for the betterment of students, it's never one-sided. There's a saying in Hindi, "Tali ek haath se nahi bajti," you have to be both-sided. So when we are developing and adding some value for the students, we want parents to reciprocate and kind of come back and share. So there are some little things. For example, a teacher's taught something in class. We would really appreciate if the parent comes back and says, you know what, my child did this. So I'll give you an example. Like the teachers were talking about tolerance, the value of tolerance, and why it's important, and patience. And there's one child who went back home and explained it to his parents, and then there was some conflict he saw around in the society, and he started talking about it, that we need to be more tolerant. Now that's a great action. We know that whatever the child has learned, the school has gone back and shared. The child has understood and he's tried to apply it in real life. These are 6-year-olds. So what we do want from our parents is that they reciprocate and tell us how the children are developing at home and what values are they using. Apart from that, we want the parents need to support schools in terms of maintaining discipline. Wherein, being on time, to wearing the correct kind of uniforms and making sure that the child, whatever the work is given, the child does it at home. That is something that greatly, greatly supports and helps the school as we move forward. Becoming so important that in today's world, and especially when we look at our children, they are all first generation technology learners. They're born with technology. They don't have to really learn. They're living with it and they're born with it. So when there is a close communication and there is a free flow of information between parents and school and teachers, then the gap is really bridged between, that I didn't know my child knew this, or I didn't know my child did that, or the teacher saying, oh, I didn't know about it. So the gap starts bridging. So it is some little expectations from the teachers to say that, just take care of little things, and leave the teaching to us. We will make sure that we teach the children really well in school, and we make sure that they learn and they are able to use it for their lifelong.
Absolutely, ma'am. Very well said, I guess. Uh, you guys are taking, when educators are making care calls, parents teacher connection, and everything. So they do expect a little from the parents too. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here today. It was lovely having you.
Thank you so much, Mehak. It's been a pleasure, and I'm happy to share my thoughts with the larger community.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And for all the viewers watching us out, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stuff like this. Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.